At the White House, President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris will hold a critical meeting with the U.S. hostage negotiating team in hopes of crafting a ceasefire deal to free the people Hamas took captive during the October 7th terror attack on Israel. 97 hostages are still being held, including 7 Americans. Of those Americans, 4 are believed to still be alive. This weekend's discovery of 6 hostages killed in a Hamas tunnel underscores the sense of urgency. Israel calls it, quote, cold-blooded murder. Minutes ago, a funeral began for the young man on your far left, Israeli-American Hersh Goldberg Polin. Israel's president apologized to the family in his eulogy.
As a human being, as a father, and as the president of the state of Israel, I want to say how sorry I am. How sorry I am that we didn't protect Hersh on that dark day. How sorry I am that we failed to bring him home. In his life and in his death, Hersh has touched all of humanity deeply. He has changed our world and woven his essence of light and love into the story of the Jewish people and into our human story forever.
This morning, I saw a clip of a vigil that took place in New York last night. How appropriate that the crowd was singing, Ani ve'ata nishaneh et ha'olam. You and I will change the world. The 23 years of life that we had with you were a blessing. We now will work to make your legacy a similar blessing. You are a really great guy. I love you.
For the families of the hostages, it has been nearly 11 months of torment and agonizing disappointment. I want to bring in the parents of 20-year-old Eden Alexander. He is an American member of the Israeli Defense Forces and has been held hostage since the Hamas terror attack on October 7th. Adi and Yael Alexander join us now from New York. How is the family holding up? Yael, I'll go to you first, and your response to what's taking place in Israel right now.
Hi, good morning, Jim. What happened in Israel now that everybody at the streets, there was a strike today, everyone was just screaming and being with the family and just to make sure that they're gonna seal the deal, they're gonna bring our loved ones home, safety, right? They're doing whatever they can just to make a noise. It's not a political issue, it's a humanitarian issue. And to see all the crowds on the streets, we are not alone. You know, we are fighting this fight for 332 days. It's almost 11 months that our son is not with us, is not with the family, and we are gonna do everything in our power to make it happen and to bring him home and to bring the other hostages home.
Well, I just want to say you are definitely not alone. We're all thinking about you. We're all praying for their safe return. I do want to play a little bit of what President Biden said just a few moments ago about all of this. Let's listen.
Mr. President, do you think it's time for Prime Minister Netanyahu to do more on this issue? Do you think he's doing enough?
No.
So you hear the president there saying he doesn't think the prime minister is doing enough. What is your thought on that?
I think he's absolutely right. From the get-go, the U.S. government, we in touch with the U.S. government. As you know, we met Jake Sullivan yesterday for 15 times. And we don't see the same sense of urgency and the same dedication from the Israelis as we see from the Americans. And this is devastating, and it's actually very surprising.
Do you think, what more could be done?
First of all, Netanyahu's government, they have to stop to move the goalpost of the negotiation. They have to stop to undermine the negotiating team itself, and they have to seal the deal. Enough, it's enough.
Exactly. They need to bring the hostages back home. That's it. It's 11 months. We don't have time. Like we saw on Saturday what happened. They murder them over there. So they need to understand. That's why we urge them since the beginning that they don't have time. They live in hell.
And when you say that Netanyahu keeps moving the goalposts, what do you mean by that?
I mean by that to ramp up additional demand, and the Philadelphia crossing as a sticking point of the negotiations. This is unacceptable. They put a proposal back in May, end of May. Just stick to this proposal.
They need to move on and to show us that they want the hostages back. Now I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Right. And I do want to share some of the essay that you both wrote for the New York Times. We can show this to our viewers. It's not just the fear of losing our son that now keeps us up at night. It's the fact that his murder is becoming the more probable outcome. And we have no faith in Mr. Netanyahu's will to change that. As a parent, reading that just breaks my heart. How do you find the hope that Eden is still alive?
First, we have some eyewitnesses that were released back in November that he's alive.
We're just sticking to this hope that he's a strong kid. He was a professional swimmer in high school. He's like,
we
he's
hope
full of
he's
light,
holding
and
up.
he's a good, like, he's amazing, Idan. And I'm hoping that he's strong and he knows that we are fighting for him and he's will come back home.
And we're looking at some pictures of Idan now, and he just looks like a remarkable young man. Tell us a little bit more about him.
Idan, I don't know, he's got this beautiful smile. He loved like to be with friends. He loved to party. He loved to be at the beach. He loved to go to restaurants. Like, this is Idan, you know. When we've been here in New York, we went to art shows. Like, whatever we can to live life. Like, this is Idan for us, and I'm hoping it's gonna happen soon. Like, we can reunite the whole family, and we will continue.
And what has it been like being a part of this community now, I suppose, of other families who are in the same situation? How do you support one another, lean on one another to try to get through this?
Yeah, we are all big family, and with the loss of Hersh on Saturday, we are devastating. We were crying. We are broken. We are, you know,
Yeah, this is really tough.
This is really tough.
But at the end of the day, you have to have hope in all of this.
Absolutely. The hope, this is what holding us up.
Hope is mandatory.
Hope is mandatory, like Rachel said, and that's it.
We don't have a choice. We are going to continue fighting till they all come back.
And what would be your message to Prime Minister Netanyahu? You've been very critical of him. What would be your message? If you could say something, if he were watching, if his team was watching, what would you say?
He promised us something on the White House in front of Biden and Sullivan last July. You want to tell them what
he
promised?
will precede the deal, but our message, do not delay it. Do not delay the deal. More military pressure brings more dead hostages. Let's execute the deal and cross the finish line.
All right, well, Yael and Adi Alexander, parents of Idan, thank you so much for speaking with us. As I said earlier, we're all thinking about you and your family and all of the families and praying for the safe return of those hostages. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
All right.